Like, my goal is to get everybody to move back to Africa. That's my goal.
Okay.
I want to get as many African Americans back home to Africa as I possibly can. Because I know the day they move back, everything they fighting for in America, they will not have to fight for over there. All the struggle that they struggling over there, they're going to come there with this mindset, with this mentality, with the finances that they built, you know, the equity in life, and bring it back and invest that in Africa. Man, Africa could be the strongest nation in the world if y'all went back home. Because we got everything that it takes to be that. We got the resources, we got the land, we got the population, and together we got the strength and we got the know-how. Like, why we ain't doing that? We control entertainment. Imagine if all the black entertainers decided to go back to Africa and just entertain in Africa, start our own businesses, labels, distribution companies, marketing companies, all that in Africa. We control sports.
Yeah.
Imagine if all the black players went back to Africa to play sports in Africa. Not only would we be the star player, but we would own the team. Imagine if we all went and created our own official team. Just imagine. Do you think these sponsors will be putting all this money into NBA and NFL and all that if niggas wasn't playing in it?
No.
But guess where the viewers will be watching though? They'll be watching the channel in Africa, watching them niggas. Just imagine if LeBron started his own team in Africa, picked his own players. He would own not only the team, but can you imagine with his eye and his vision on what a player looks like? And there's players in Africa that's taller than Usain Bolt. I mean, Manute Bol. Manute was 7'2". I saw guys at 7'9", like walking around. And we talking about speed, stamina, man. But they know this. They know how to utilize us because they just dangle the carrot. They know we ain't gonna ever come together. They know this already. So they always play us against each other. You know, there's always this divide and conquer that our mentality is what we need to fix first. Once we fix that, we'll be fine. So the question is, will you think we can ever do it? Our generation is too late.
You know, when Akon went on a black British platform and said Africans are better performers and entertainers than African Americans, a lot of people had a lot of negative things to say about Akon. I mean, people were going in on Akon and continental Africans and how they look down on African Americans. You know, it was a lot of people. You know, the usual suspects. I don't even have to say their names. You know who they are. You know, they go by the 3-letter words, you know, FBA, ADOS. But you had people like Van Lathan. Oh man, he was leading the charge. I mean, he had a lot to say about Akon's comments. Everybody was losing their damn mind about that comment. And look, whether I agree or not, I really disagree with what he said, but I'm not that triggered by it. I wasn't that triggered when he said it. That's why I didn't make a video about it. Yet, here we are with Akon saying, look, Black America, if you move to Africa and invest in Africa, Africa could become a superpower. Africa can become a superpower. You make America successful. So why don't you take those talents and take them to Africa? And you know what the response from some of those same people who had a lot to say when he made the comment about Africans being better performers than African Americans? You know what people said? Nothing. If you look on YouTube right now, you type in Akon African Americans, and if you type that in right now, what you'll get is Akon's comments that he made a month or two ago, where a lot of people lost their goddamn minds for whatever reasons, extra sensitive. Or you get some clips from Vlad TV where he said, hey, in Africa, we don't really think about slavery like that. That's not holding us back. But you won't see this video right here. You won't see the video where he's telling black people to come to Africa and invest in the resources, because we know that Africa has the most resources on the planet. We know that if you go to Africa, just like some of these other countries are going to Africa, and some of these other investors from other places on the planet, if you go to Africa, especially when you have a leg up financially, your money can go much further on the continent than it can in the Western world that you come from. Ain't nobody talking about that. I wonder why. That's real interesting to me, how it's not as many people talking about this video compared to the last video he made where he's talking about some goddamn entertainment. You mean to tell me that a large percentage of Black America would rather discuss who could spin and twirl harder than to talk about actually investing in resources and acquiring wealth? What? We talking about financial literacy here. And you mean to tell me dances, entertainment is more important? That's what you should get offended by. We talk about priorities, people. Y'all don't get it, do you? That's more important. Y'all had so much to say. Van Lathan has so much to say. I looked on his Twitter. I didn't see any of that. I didn't see him say anything about what Akon recently said. And I'm pretty sure the people that did say something the last time Akon made those comments, and now they're, reacting to this video, I'm pretty sure they're saying, well, we shouldn't have to go back to Africa. I ain't Africa. I ain't African. My blood, sweat, and tears here in America. We built this country, so we need to be invested in America. But then you want a Black America. You want a separate America, which you know is never going to happen. The government is not going to legalize segregation so we can have this quote unquote mystical, magical Black America. We need to have our own this. We need to have our own that. That's probably more attainable in Africa if you have the resources and money. It could be more attainable. But then you will convince yourself that they don't want us in Africa. Akon, he's a scam artist. Be that as it may, you don't need to hear that from Akon. You don't need to hear it from Akon. You could just see where Africa is going, where many countries in Africa is going for the future. Africa has some of the youngest countries in the world right now. Tech is a growing commodity in Africa right now. Wake up, sleepy, wake up. It's a reason why China is investing so much into Africa, including Russia. Russia is also investing in Africa. They're not doing that just because. Yeah, they have their own reasons and agendas, but they see the future in Africa. And it's a shame that people of African descent in the diaspora are not hip to that, especially ones who have money. And maybe those who have large amounts of wealth are already doing those investments, but just doing it kind of on the low. But I'm a guess to say, no, not really. Because if that was the case, then Akon, who's tapped into the entertainment industry, would have exposed that. He would have put that out there, so that would attract more Black people to travel to Africa and invest in some shape, form, or fashion to the continent. But that's not happening, though. That's not happening. You want people to come here to respect you. And I understand that. Respect is mutual. Respect is understanding. But you cannot continue to complain about the limitations that you have here in this country, especially in recent, in light of recent events such as Tyre Nichols. You can't talk about the police brutality and the racist system, systemic racism. You can't talk about all that and then turn right around and do a 180 and go, but we need to build here. We need to invest in America. Black people, I'm telling you this right now. In America, in the West, this is a race. And Black people right now are damn near in last place. I said damn near. I ain't gonna say we in last place because you have the indigenous people who are in the worst conditions than us. Nobody's saving them, nobody's saving us. That's not how the world works. That's not how reality works. So I'm telling y'all this. Black folks, Black Americans, you can scream and shout all you want to that immigrants are taking ours, that we need to stay here because our ancestors' bones are buried. They need to respect us. But you will be replaced. Your position in this country is being replaced at this moment by Asian immigrants, Hispanic immigrants, They are getting top priority. Nobody cares about what you got going on. Nobody cares about your plight. They might care. They might show it when it comes time to elections. But even at some point when it comes to voting, that's not going to even matter. Your sphere of influence is dwindling in this country. All you have now is entertainment and sports. And maybe that's why you held so hard on to sports and entertainment when Akon had something to say about, niggas not being able to perform like Africans, because that's all you got. Now I know you got more. I know black folks have the potential to have more, but you need to prioritize other things outside of entertainment and sports collectively. One way is, look, Black America, especially you celebrities and influencers, get on these black politicians' ass and make them build a coalition with Africa. Make them build a coalition with Africa and start having more of a sovereign state of mind away from America. Because again, you can only reach so high. Yes, the foundation is here to acquire large amounts of wealth, more so than other countries, to gain knowledge and information. But you can only go so high. You can only go so high. Whereas in Africa, if you're in that position of information, education, and finances, maybe going somewhere where the cost of living is a little lower and opportunities are a lot more plentiful, because it's presenting itself right now with other groups like Chinese investors, Lebanese investors, Russian investors, European investors. Maybe you should gather your resources and know-how and make those connections on the continent, because I'm pretty sure they're more willing to connect with us than they are with non-African people. But continue talking about who can tap dance better, who can smoke weed on stage better, who can mumble rap better than us, who can do a twirl. Show them how great Aretha Franklin was, and show them how great Mary J. Blige was, and her drunk dancing, drunk Annie dancing. Show them what Lil' Kim can do compared to what their African Lil' Kim can do. Biggie baby. All right, I ain't got nothing to say. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, until next time, holla.